It's the final percent. The final percent.
All right. This is the first episode from the TFP studios. And this is something that I've been kind of trying to work the kinks out of for a long time, from a space situation, from a visual situation, because obviously the visual aspect of what we're doing is very important. Obviously, I'm a sound guy, so I do a lot of audible, but you know, every now and then people want to see, hey, what's going on? Who is this Greg guy? Well, we're going to try to make that as streamlined as possible. And I wasn't going to talk on this today, but I feel that it is very applicable with what is going on in today's world. I'm reading a few books. There's this, I think it's the 1% rule, and that basically talks about get 1% better each day, and then you end up, 350% better by the end of the year. F1 uses that same principle. They try to get 1% better in all these little things. That's why they'll spend $12,000 on a screw. And in that book, he recommended another book a lot called Deep Work. And because this was going to be the inaugural podcast, video session, vlog, however you want to put it, for me, I cannot tell you how many times this idea of deep work has been popping up. And I'll give you some examples. Here's one phone. Here's two phones. Here's three phones. Here's one computer. Here's another computer. And the idea of deep work really digs into the situation of, are you living in a distracted environment? And I would say I absolutely am. Just in this initial session of me, I was going to talk about a couple other concepts that I want to bring out there that I've been developing that I think are really cool, but I forgot to put a do not disturb sign on my door, so people were knocking. I forgot to put one of my phones on silent, so it kept going off, because you get emails every 10 seconds from telemarketers, email lists. I mean, some of it's important, but most of it's not. I got text messages. I forgot to put something on record. I mean, all of these things kind of start adding up to us constantly being distracted. And I have been doing a lot of research on how did the greats do it? And if you look at the greats, like, let's take Bill Gates, for instance. If you haven't seen the Netflix documentary on him, it's really fascinating. And what he's doing with the amount of wealth that he has generated is truly inspiring. But he had this thing twice a year called a Think Week, where he would go by himself in complete solitary, or in complete isolation. There's a better word. And he would literally just read books and think big, and wouldn't take his phone, no computer. If he did take a computer, it was offline, and it was just meant for him to think. And how many times have you, whether you're trying, like, here was one of my things when I just realized, oh, wow, there's a big thing. A reoccurring thing that I'm trying to get good at is I want to learn the guitar at a high level. Okay, well, I'm not going to learn the guitar at a high level if I only practice, number one, what I already know, and number two, if I practice with the TV on. And I think the idea of deep work, so this right here is a deep work session for me, because I can't be distracted. I shouldn't be distracted. I have to be more present in this moment than in any other moment. Can you imagine, would you tune in to listen to me look at my phone? Watch me look at my phone? That's not fun. And I think increasingly in relationships, the next time you go out to dinner, maybe try leaving your phone in the car. Oh, but we want to put something on Instagram. We want to put something on Facebook. We want to share the world. No, share your love with each other first. Get that habit down first, and then, yeah, bring your phone back into it and only use it for pictures. But this is such an addiction right now that it is so challenging to stay on task in any meaningful way, let alone deliberate, diligent practice. And so if you want to dive deep into knowledge, if you want to dive deep into your relationship, dive deep into your fitness, you've got to have that focus. And I think we really do need to start going deep instead of wide, you know? And I think that this idea of having dedicated deep work, because the thing is, you can't stay deep all the time. You do have to do some of the shallow things that this, I think his name's Carl. You know, I'll give the book right now. Give me 1 second as I pick up my phone. Let's see. It's Deep Work by Cal Newport. And it has opened my eyes to so many different things that I did not realize were happening in so many areas of my life. And I think if we start setting ourselves up to actually go deep on a subject, on ourselves, on knowledge, practice, understanding, meditation, fitness, doesn't matter. And so if a lot of you have been following the Final Percent for a while, you know that I love the number 33. So one of the things that I've been doing is I do 33 minutes of fitness no matter what. That is unbroken. I'm dedicated to fitness. I do 33 minutes of Audible, 33 minutes of learning, 33 minutes of dedicated deep work on a subject. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, dude, 33 minutes doesn't sound like a lot." But putting that into perspective, and I know that you guys have heard me use this before, a lot of us are on what I call football time. Well, Greg, what's football time? They just did a study. We, on average, spend about 3 hours of our life watching a football game, right? If you go to the game, it's about 5 hours of your life. If you're having a party and you're prepping and you're doing this, that, and the other, it's about 4 hours of your life. Now, the ball is only in motion, on average, for 7 minutes and 34 seconds. And people will say, "Oh man, that was a great game." Well, now how many times have you been at work and you have checked your email maybe a little too often? You have got caught up in the scrolling of Facebook, the scrolling of Instagram, and it's just forever. Or let's just say you took an extended lunch break. You went to the bathroom just a little bit longer than you needed to be in there. Another thing, try doing this, guys. Don't take your phone to the bathroom. Number one, think about it, kind of gross. And number two, I guarantee you your bathroom time is going to start shortening. And what I want people to start realizing is we are conditioned to be on football time. How many employees do you see, especially if you're a manager, do you see, or a leader, do you see the employee talking water cooler conversation, smoke break, bathroom break, lunch break, all these different things, and they're only putting in 7 minutes of work over a 3-hour span? Imagine if they just did half of that time in deep, deliberate, dedicated work. That's pretty inspiring. And we actually, in psychology, they have said, now there's 2 studies on this, and I'll actually dive into both of these in a subsequent episode. But there is one saying that you have 90 minutes of concentration at any given time. That's what you should do, and then you should take a break. There's another study that says, I think it's 23 minutes or 22 minutes. Well, that's crazy, you know? And so that's why I came up with my rule of 33. What I'll do is I'll do 33 minutes of very deliberate, focused work. Do not disturb me. And then if I really need a break after that, I will take a break for 7 minutes. So there's 40-minute intervals in my cycle. I invite anybody to try that in anything they want to get good at. Because if you do 33 minutes, 7-minute break, the 7 minutes is also, it's not just a little bit of downtime, but it's also a period of reflection so that you can really start absorbing what just happened in those 33 minutes. So just keep those things in mind, but ask yourself, how often are you on football time where you spend 3 hours doing something that would take you less than 8 minutes? And the answer is we are conditioned to do so. We are conditioned to make these things happen. Have you ever noticed if you say, like, for instance, I want to clean the garage, it's probably going to take me about a day. Well, it almost always takes you a day. You don't surprise yourself and go, wow, that only took me 2 hours. But you and I both know that if you would have said, hey, I can clean my garage, it's probably going to take me 2 hours of deep, deliberate, diligent work, and you're going to do it in 2 hours. So I would like you to set your expectations of what is possible more true to what you can do, more true to what you should do, more true to what you know down in your soul you are capable of. This distracted environment that we live in is unbelievable right now. And I am going to start designing my life so that I can take control back over it. I know Tim Ferriss is another great one of the 4-hour work week. He's not telling you, like, and this is the thing that I don't understand about people. They'll read the book because they're like, oh, I only want to work for 4 hours and I want to be a millionaire. That's not what he's saying. He's saying streamline your life so much, and it's possible for some people to bring it all the way down to where they only work for 4 hours in an entire week. And that's just in the things that you have to do. What is the saying? Do the things that you have to do as soon as you can, as fast as you can, so you can do the things that you want to do for as long as you can. You know? It makes a little bit of sense. And sometimes some of the things that you want to do is develop yourself, is work harder, is build something, start a new business. Doesn't matter, right? But it is so much easier if you start with that deep work. Deep inner work, deep outer work. And more often than not, it is so much better to go deeper than wider. Having a lot of shallow things on the surface of, oh, I've got to do this, start saying no more often. Because think about it, right when you say yes to something, you said no to everything else in your life that could occupy that slot. It's the truth. Who are you becoming? I was just having a coaching session with someone, and I was trying to hammer into them, you cannot think about what you are getting from a job. You cannot think about what you're getting from someone, from an activity, from this, that, and the other. Always, always, always think about who are you becoming here, not what are you getting from here. Are you becoming someone who is a part of something? Are you developing your interpersonal skills? Are you developing your something? It could be creative. It could be computer. It could be a network. But what are you becoming in every environment of your life? Start doing that deep inner work and spend some time thinking about that. Take 33 minutes out of your day. Leave your phones in another room and just sit there and think. What am I becoming? Who am I becoming? What is my business becoming? Are you still taking the same actions that you took a year ago? Well, if that's the case, you're not going very deep. You're staying on that shallow surface level. And I found out, painfully so, that when I tried to record here, I had to set myself up for success. I had to get ready to succeed. I had to get ready so that I had the best possible chance to succeed. That meant turning my phones off, turning my computers off. That meant putting a sign on the door. That meant airplane mode is my friend so that I could be present here in this moment, so that I could think about this moment. But I was able to turn that into something, hey, wow, this is all connected. I think this could help some other people. I think that this could help this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? So let's partner with each other to try to make deep work a part of our life. Now, you can't stay there the whole time. That's not a thing. That's not what you do here. You can't stay in one place. Anything in extreme is bad. That's why shallow, complacent work is spreading us too thin, and we wonder why we're spread thin. Start focusing your distractions. You remember you control this. I just held up a phone for anyone who's only listening on the audio. But you control this. You control whether or not you leave your inbox open. You control whether or not you let the actions of others occupy space in your mind. And I know that this is kind of a weird first episode, but I cannot be the only one making these realizations or going through all of these troubles. And I hope that I can help you. I hope that this makes sense. I hope that you guys just adopt, again, if you think about it, if you have 33 minutes of deep work, I mean, on football time, that's 5 football games of deep work. Come on, that's cool. So let's make a difference in our lives. Let's go the final percent, and let's set up some deep work sessions, deep inner work, deep outer work, diligent, deliberate work on a skill that we want, a mindset that we want to master, a vision that we want to achieve, and we no longer want it to be just a goal, just a wish. How do we get there? It's going to take deep work. So thanks for tuning in. This has been the first episode from our new TFP studio set, and I'm excited for everything to come. We are still figuring out the live stream thing, and right now we have different things that are syncing issues and bandwidth issues, and how do we do this, that, and the other issues. But we are figuring it out, and we're going to keep testing it. Also, if you listen to this and you are interested in joining our community, we have a private Facebook group called The Final Percent Coaching. If you'd like to join that, please let me know. And I know that we're only accepting 99 members, but we like to see engagement. So there is some turnover. If people aren't commenting, questioning, contributing, then we politely ask them to either do so or exit the group so that we can get a powerful group of engaged individuals. So anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate you listening, and this is a great new beginning that I think is going to be very fun. So I've got to remember to look at this camera. It's all right. Anyway, I'm going to get better at this, guys. This is just the first one. So thank you so much for tuning in.
It's the final percent. The final percent.